on air right now, Gary. Are you ready? Are you fired?
That?
Did he just trip Gary?
Gary.
Did
Gary, come here, Gary.
Did he try to trip you? You can sit there on the pool books, Gary. Good morning, everybody. I hope you all see this hat that I have on here. They are on a roll, baby. I hope my boy Freddie, Mets fan, sees this hat. That they stomped him again yesterday. Stomped the Mets. What did you say? Oh, really? Because they were scared of the Phillies. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope y'all are having an awesome morning. And you did not.
Scared of you getting harassed.
Yeah. No. Well, they won. They won the day before. The Mets did. I hope you didn't touch that snoozer loser. I hope you did not touch that snoozer loser. I saw you were there again, Chris, yesterday at the Phillies game. Everybody say good morning to Phil McCardle. He's on here this morning saying hi.
Phil.
He does. He has clothes on, I think, but I'm not sure. But everybody just say good morning, Phil. We could say good morning to Phil. Good morning, Phil. I love you too, man. Good morning, Crystal, Danielle. Good morning, Jerry. Yeah, Chris. It was a it was a great game again yesterday. I saw the score last night. So, how you getting your morning going? Today's topic is really, really, really important. I think we've had some great topics. And honestly, I'm spending less time, Jimmy, TJ. I haven't called you that in a long time. TJ, preparing. I'm spending less time preparing on topics. Like I don't do it the night before, and I did it today. What 5 minutes ago, and I just prayed about it, and I'm like, here's a good one. Here's a good one. This morning's topic is going to be all about what you're telling yourself. How you're talking. What are you laughing at already, Joe?
I'm thinking of
Can you talk into the mic?
I'm thinking of the eagle come flying down.
That's a falcon.
A falcon.
No, it's a hawk.
Yeah,
We'll talk about him in a minute. But our topic is, how are you talking to yourself? It's important that you all recognize the things you're saying to yourself, what you're telling yourself, how you talk about yourself, just all those things. If you aren't treating yourself kindly in your heart, if you aren't taking care of that little kid inside, I think that's what everybody really needs to recognize when they start doing the self-talk. I know all of you in here love Talon, okay? And anybody that doesn't know, my son, Phil said, yeah, I'm wearing the clothes I came home with. They're starting to get a little dirty. Good morning. Yeah, so that was a good one, Phil. You made me laugh there. I hope they are getting dirty too, you idiot. But anyway, all of you and most of you on here know my son Talon. You would never, ever tell Talon he sucks. Tell Talon he's not good enough, right? Tell Talon he's fat, he's ugly. You would never, ever, ever say that to him, would you?
No.
But how many of you say that crap to yourself? How many of you tell yourself you are not enough, you are not good enough, you're never going to be good enough, right? Or that you're always going to be a drug addict. That's a big one that they do in programs. My name is so-and-so, my name's Clint, and I'm an alcoholic. Like, what you tell, I completely and utterly disagree with that. And I know that there's people on here that will say, well, that's not what Bill meant. I understand what the book says and all of that. I get it. But I just don't agree with it. Whatever we tell ourselves is what we become, okay? So I think it's really important that we talk to ourselves kindly. We take care of that little kid inside of us. I want you all that are at home or on Facebook here watching this morning, talk about this on here. Write some comments for me and tell me how you talk to yourself. What are the things that you struggle with to tell yourself when you look in the mirror? Are you good enough? Are you pretty enough? Are you good looking enough? Does it matter that you have earrings in when you're not supposed to have them in? Does any of that stuff mean more than what's on your heart? Good morning, Tim. Good morning. We're live on Facebook this morning. I just wanted to say hi to you already. Good morning. So so what are the words? What are the words you're like literally the words? What do you tell yourself at times?
I went to one of my I went through a style of my morning
Hey, see you,
routine.
Jesse. Have a great day, Tim. You guys have fun, just not too much fun on the ride there, okay? All right. See
Careful, Jesse. Oh man. No, I went through my routine. It went through some changes at different times through here, but the one phase of morning routine I went through, I would write something every morning, and it would consist of something like this. It would, look in the mirror and smile, or I would make a statement. God created me in His image, and I am great.
Mhm.
You know that, and just getting up every morning, and the first thing I do
Uh-huh.
is put socks on and a shirt, and I would go brush my teeth.
You have no underwear on? You just throw your socks on?
Well, I'm already sleeping in my underwear.
Oh, okay. All right.
But no, I would just go brush my teeth, just to have a clean mouth, and
Yeah.
feel good about my breath. And,
Yep.
Just
Yep.
because, yeah.
Well, that's good structure. But it's not just in those times, okay? I like that, Crystal. Crystal says, I'm enough, period. And Jerry, I struggle with my body. Like, I think I still have those struggles. But there was one thing you said that, God made me in His image. I have blamed things that are outside of my control on that little kid my whole life. That little kid was responsible for a whole lot in my family. And what that did to me in my head and in my heart was give me this less than attitude. And then I had to counteract that. There's always another side to when we feel something in our hearts. As a little kid, I was never enough. I was never good enough. I had to work for every bit of love that I got. That's how I felt, right? I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm saying that's how I felt. I was never enough, and I had to do X to be loved, right? I had to work to get loved. So what do you think I told myself every single day? Like, you're not enough the way you are. You got to do this, or you got to do that, or you have to be better at this, or you have to be better at that. Sometimes I wasn't enough, so I had to cause some trouble to get attention, right? So that I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, can really, really mess with you. And I think if you remember that one, it's an important one. God created us, and no matter who that God is for you, like, I got to tell you, like, you can't keep doing this to yourself. Now, some of us, including me, do you remember using that crap, like using the I'm not enough to justify going and doing all the things that we did, like the negative behaviors and treating people like crap? Well, if you felt like I did about myself, you would treat everybody like crap too, So that becomes an excuse, but it's so important how we talk to ourselves. I think one of the big answers is connection. It's recognizing the truth of really what you anybody else want to talk about, like the truth of what they tell themselves? Like, really, what's the truth? What's one of the truths that you tell yourself that you don't like to talk about? Like you got to get really honest with yourself about what that struggle is first.
I think there's also a level of, like, what you put into yourself also reflects upon how you feel about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I feel like a fat slob, it's because I eat like crap and I don't work out at all.
That's right.
And I'm lazy.
That's right.
All I want to do is sleep.
Right. And you got to recognize the truth of where it is to adjust in it, because ultimately we're responsible. So if we're looking in the mirror and saying I'm overweight and I don't look good, well, I probably don't feel good either. So there's it can't just be look in the mirror and make excuses. Well, I'm good enough, but I don't feel good. When you don't feel good about it, like that's my gig. When I don't feel good at a certain weight or at a certain number that's on the scale, I got to do something about it. I have to do something about it and stop making the excuses that I'm able to make week after week.
Yeah, and then it comes also into play, like, once you start making changes, then in the morning you can tell yourself, hey, I lost a pound today.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because I changed my diet up. Maybe it's because I went running last night.
Right. But really, isn't it all? There's a lot of people that food does. I think a lot of you guys, you can eat anything you want and you feel the same.
Some people.
Clayton, are you that way? Like you
Yeah.
could. Yeah. I in a way I wish I was like that. In a way I don't. But I can't. Like, I literally most of my life, I think since I got really healthy, like I screwed it up, that I feel like crap when I eat the wrong foods for 4, 5, 6 days straight. And I do that to myself, and I'm like, I don't look in the mirror and not just like what I see when I do that. I don't like how I feel. And that's the part. if you're cool with where you're at and you're still happy and full of joy and it's not affecting how you treat others, well, isn't that what life's about? Isn't it really about enjoying life and you finding this place where you're at? And no matter what the mirror or the scale says, it really comes with, what I'm comfortable with and where I want to be. There's a point in my life where I feel like I look back and I look at being 188 pounds or 185 pounds, and I'm like, man, you look like shit. Like you looked bad at that weight, but I know where I feel good. I feel good at 205 to 210. That's where I feel good. My body feels good. I feel good. And that may not even be considered in everybody else's eyes as healthy.
But for you, it
right?
is.
But for me. So what is that for you guys? Like what is that place where you still feel joy, and what's holding you back from being there? That's what I want to talk about. Like, what is that issue in your brain that's holding you back from being who you want to be? Is it weight? Is it the past? What is that absolute roadblock that's standing in your way, and how are you talking to yourself about it? What are you saying to you about those things? I hear from a lot of you when something goes bad, and these are the times that it's most important. During the stressful times, what do you tell yourself? Like, I know there's a bunch of you in here that as soon as you make mistakes, it's I suck, and I'm not good enough, and I'm not capable of doing any more. And it's like throw in the towel and start telling yourself that. And where are we going to go once that starts? That's the question. Where is there to go when you start telling yourself that? Let me hear from you guys. Like, what are you thinking?
For me, it's just setting unrealistic expectations of myself and setting this bar so high that like I almost want perfection in a way. And when I'm not reaching that point, I beat myself up for it instead of like just accepting who I am and where I'm at.
And what does beating yourself up mean next for everybody else around you?
It means putting it on other people, my problems on others. So
that's it. That's me. But we get miserable with ourselves. Well, now miserable company. Misery loves miserable company, right?
Company.
That's what goes on then, and we start treating everybody else around us like crap. I know there's more people here that have to talk about this subject. Who wants to talk about it? Go ahead. Oh, you don't want to talk? No? All right. So
I know in the past, like, I'd get to a point, where I just want to burn it all down. If I get to that give up point, it's all right. Well, if I ain't doing this, nobody's gonna do it, and I'll burn it down to the ground.
Right.
But today it's different.
Yeah.
Today I recognize it, and I look for the way to push through, the way to keep going. If it's not going to work this way, all right, well, then let me stop what I'm doing, take a different approach, a different perspective, and change the whole outcome of this because this way's not working, so I got to do something completely different.
Right.
Or ask somebody for help.
Right.
Somebody